It's strange.
When something strange is going on, who you gonna call? Not the Ghostbusters, cause boy, they ain't ready for this strange man right here. What it is, everybody? It's your boy, Dr. Strange. Psych. Stephen Strange is in the building. That's right. So let's get into that. All about nothing but the classics thing going on, and start the day off with Random Tuesday. Random Tuesday it is. So what are we going to be doing today on Random Tuesday? Well, I decided that Random Tuesday today what it's gonna be about. I'm just playing. I know what it's gonna be about. So today for Random Tuesday, I'm going to be giving y'all my top 10. That's right, my top 10. My top 10 PlayStation 1 games of all time. Now, everybody's list ain't gonna be the same. I'm just gonna go ahead and say right now that this is my list. All right, this is what means most to me as far as my childhood growing up with the PlayStation. All right, so once again, I'm sorry if your favorite game don't make the list. I mean, come on. At the end of the day, it's my list. All right, so let's not trip out. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. So I'm gonna have to get this drain out right now, so I can have it on lock, because I can't do how the amazing folks do it. The amazing folks, they freaking the amazing folks, they got that drain. Remember, they got down pat. I mean, who knows? Maybe that's to say that, these joints means their list means a lot more to them than I thought, I mean, I don't know, but we're gonna get into this. So here we go. Let's get to it. So, I gotta find it here. Oh man, like I don't have it. Oh snap, I don't have it, so I guess I'm going to think off the top of the head with this one. This would be interesting, right? Alright, so without further ado, let's bring out the fantastic wording right now. Alright, so here we go. Coming in at number 10 for PlayStation 1. Coming in at number 10, I would have to say Gran Turismo 2. Yeah, Gran Turismo 2. I guess this was the beginning era of me, beginning to play a lot of racing games. Of course, back in the day, when I had a Super Nintendo, the only racing games that I ever was, Super Mario Kart and F-Zero. So, there wasn't really a lot of race car games that really had my attention, but, this one did, and mainly because at that time, they had the flyest cars, you know what I'm saying? So, what do I say, it's just a bunch of racing. You're just racing with nice cars of that time, and it was fun. You know what I'm saying? It was fun. So let's go to the next one. Number 9. Coming in at number 9, I'm going to have to say, coming in at the number 9. Gotta think about this one. 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 Gotta think. Coming in at number 9 will have to be Spyro the Dragon, the very first one. This game, man, what can I say? This game was extremely fun. Like extremely fun. Like very, 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 very fun. You know, so I mean, come on, man. You're freaking dragon. You know, you're a freaking dragon. You can glide. You got flying stages. And, you know, who doesn't remember a Gnasty Ugnork? Freaking Nasty Nord. They're one of the corniest villains of all time. You know, it's kind of funny because he kind of disappeared. You know, he kind of disappeared after the other two that came out. Because after the other two, it was always Ripto. And it's like, yo, like, when you gonna bring Nasty Nord back? Because, you know, Nasty Nord was kind of like, you know, he was an annoying boss. I hated him as the boss, but it was kind of cool, you know, rescuing all the elder dragons, and the things they had to say was hilarious. Like, some of them had clues, some of them was just random, you know. It was hilarious. Well, speaking of random Tuesday got me looking crazy up in here, you know, because I got the see-through joint popping off. But it's mainly because the green screen is behind me and the color that's on here is obviously green, so it's gonna be a see-through. So if you ask me, it kind of looks cool. I like it. Alright, so yeah. So anyway, getting back to the point. So yeah, basically that game was very, very fun and very, very awesome, and that's a game that I do recommend you actually trying to get your hands on, as well as the last two. Gran Turismo, you should play that, and yeah, you should play Gran Turismo, and you should play... Wait, I didn't even get to the last two. This is the last two. Yeah, play Gran Turismo, and I recommend you try to play Spyro. Spyro is very fun. So, yeah. Next up. Coming in at number 8. I know I put all fingers up, but, you know. Coming in at number 8. Number 8, I would have to say... Alright, so coming in at number 8, I would have to say... I would have to say Street Fighter Alpha. No, not Street Fighter. Let me correct myself. Street Fighter EX plus Alpha. I'll put that as number 8. You know, that was one of those games. That was one of the very first games to me that I ever played that involved Street Fighter that went into like the 3D perspective. Like it was incredible. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I like the characters. The characters was freaking awesome. It was freaking dope. You know, and it was just. You know, I mean, you know, it's your typical fighting game. Only it was in 3D, and it was Street Fighter. I mean, come on. Ryu and Ken, really? Ken is my favorite. Ryu is the savior. Remember that. Those are my guys right there. Like, that game was cool. The music on there was jamming too. Like, I can't even lie on that one, you know. So, yeah. Next. Coming in at number 7, we have another fighting game, and I'm going to say that fighting game is Tekken 3. Yeah, Tekken 3. I'm actually shocked I'm not putting this in the top 5, but I have some titles in mind that, you know, is it just means more to me, you know. So I'm just gonna leave that alone right there. So you know. But anyway, yeah, get to the point here. So Tekken 3 was like Tekken 3 was pushing the boundaries with the graphics at that time for that console. And the characters, man, oh my god, don't get me started with the characters. Jun and Jin Kazama's son. Jin Kazama, my dude, boy. Kazuya, he made an awesome looking son. Like, your son looks cool. Like, this was around the time when Dragon Ball Z was hot. And I remember when I first saw Vegito. You know, the Patari fusion with Goku and Vegeta. And his hair, man, the way it was spiked up and it had the little freaking bangs, that's what made me like really like Jin Kazama. Not to mention he had his mom. He was a mixture of his mom's skills and his father/grandfather's skills. You know what I'm saying? So that was a great fighting game. Like I remember countless hours of playing that game. Like, the game was so fun. You know, the Tekken Beach Ball mode, the Tekken I forgot what you call it, but it's where it's like they turned it into a side scroller beat 'em up, so to speak. That was awesome. The only thing that makes me like upset with that was you couldn't have two players in that. Like, it would have been. I mean, I know I understand it's to test your skills, but it really seriously been fun if you could have another player playing with you. I'm just saying. Next. Coming in at number 6. Coming in at number 6 would have to be Final Fantasy 9. What could I say? Final Fantasy 9, man. A lot of people say the story was too soft or whatever. I kind of like the story. You know, I kind of like the idea that, you know, for the first time ever, you are not a human. You know, you appear human, but the only thing that's not human about you is a freaking tail. And you know, it's kind of strange that, you know, as the main character Zidane, you're going through town, and everywhere you look, there's all races all alike. You know, you got rats, you got, I don't know what the freak that thing was. You know, Quina. You know, freaking Quina, or Quinn, however you say his name. I don't know what he is, but if you ask me, he's kind of a rip-off of Lickitung. I mean, that's the only way I can like compare him with. So I don't know what he is, but you know, it's all walks of life here, and then the only one that stands out is you. Even with the Black Mage Vivi, you're the only one that still stands out because you're the only one that has a tail. So, you know, I mean, yeah, this is spoilers for those that never played this game. I really hope you've played it. If you haven't, please play that game, just like the other titles that I mentioned. You know, later on he finds out that, you know, there's another world next to the world that he's living in, and he found a way to get to it. And what's on this other planet? His race, his people. So, you know, it was crazy that, you know, at one point in time he thought he was one of a kind, then he realized that, you know, he's not alone. Not to mention the guy that was causing all the trouble for them in the first place is another person that escaped that planet and is the same race as him. Gotta admit, he did a good job hiding his tail. But anyway, that's just my opinion on that. So, you know, next. We have made it to the final top 5. Get ready. Coming in at number 5. This is where it gets really, really crazy. And I'm sorry for the fans. I'm not trying to disrespect you. First and foremost, just know that I'm not crapping on the game, alright? And I'm not saying that the game sucks. The game is completely awesome, even though I have yet to beat it. The game is freaking dope, and it deserves to be on this list. Now, unfortunately, it's not in the top 3 because I really didn't own the game, or had the opportunity to try and own the game to be able to play it as much as I would have played it after I played the demo. And then here we are today. Thanks to emulators, I'm able to finally play this game, and as much as I've been playing it, I've been enjoying the crap out of it. So without further ado, coming in at number 5 is Metal Gear Solid. Man, Kojima, man. This dude is so amazing. This game was really pushing everything. Like he has succeeded in doing something that was never heard of before. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how you could tell where there's a cutscene going on? Well, he found a way, even back then, like even PlayStation 1 times, he found a way to where you couldn't, you could kind of tell, but at the same time you couldn't. But there were times where you would be playing this game and you couldn't tell whether or not a cutscene was happening or you could move yet. Like he succeeded with that. And I've heard lately in that newest installment that he had that he even succeeded that far beyond of not knowing whether or not you was in a cutscene or not. So I have to applaud him. I have to applaud this guy, Kojima. I have to applaud this man. So yeah, Metal Gear Solid, man. What can I say? It was like a movie. It was like you was watching a movie and you was a part of it. And it was like the way that this man broke the fourth wall on many occasions. It's just amazing how he does it. There's a situation in the game where you have to contact this chick through your communicator thingy, and then your general keeps telling you need to look on the back of the disc to get a number. Now me, I'm thinking in game. I'm thinking, okay, well, I have a disc right now, my items. How do I view it? How do I search it? I find a room with a bunch of computers, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, can I put it in a computer? How am I supposed to find this out? So I'm lost. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to me trying to play a game, when it comes to me playing a game for the first time, I don't want to cheat. So I'm trying my hardest to figure this out. And I did not want to search online to find the answer, because I would feel like I failed. Like I would feel like, man, I'm not really legit, So what did I do? I called up a friend. I called up a friend of mine that I knew played the game and that I knew beat it. And I was stumped. I was like, look, man, I tried everything. Like, where is this code to contact this chick? And he was like, oh, see this, and he explained to me how cool Kojima was, that he would do things to the extreme. And so when you purchased a Metal Gear Solid game, you would have, obviously you have your case, and on the back of the CD case, which is what the general was telling me, was the code to contact the chick. Now, unfortunately, this was one of those situations where I actually had no choice but to go on the internet and look for the image or look up the number, because I didn't have the case. So I actually wanted to see the case, so I actually looked up an image of the case and saw the code and was like, wow. Like, if it wasn't for this, I would have never ever been able to continue this game, because this guy broke the fourth wall. I even heard situations where you will be playing, and then all of a sudden, back in the days when you had the VCR and the blue screen, it would go blue screen for a second. You would think, oh, what the heck happened? But then in the corner how it would say video, it would say Kojima. I was like, that's so cool. That's cool. So Yeah, big shout out to Kojima. Big shout out to his success. I know he had some bullcrap going on with him and Konami. And bro, Kojima, they were fools. They were all fools. And I just want you to know, you are already going to do some amazing things. I'm not even worried that you can pull some amazing stuff off. And thanks to you, Igarashi left, and he's doing some amazing stuff. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep that hope. Keep that magic. Keep amazing, folks. So, you know, that's all I gotta say about Metal Gear Solid. It is an awesome, awesome, awesome game for its time for PS1. And if you haven't played it yet, or at least got through the first scene, just please play that game. Give it a try. Even if you thought that it wasn't gonna catch your interest and you thought it was whack, bro. I always have a saying when it comes to video games. Play it first, then judge. Don't knock it until you try it. Try the game first. Then if you play it for a few minutes and you still don't like it, that's cool. Alright? Go watch someone play it on YouTube. Just be able to experience this game, alright? Next. Coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 4. Wow. Okay. Coming in at number 4 will have to be Soul Reaver. Soul Reaver, man, was one of those games that was just extremely classic. Like, just extremely classic. Like, I would have to say it is one of the best vampire games that has ever been released. Ever. You know, just the story was so deep. You know, the music was just in your face. The gameplay, awesome. The story, crazy. Like, I feel like it was so good at that time that, you know, that I just felt like so amazed at it, you know. So when they released 2 and 3, I was like, man, like this is so, like, I was kind of upset that it ended the way it did, and that, you know, the main character Raziel had to accept his death or whatever, because he was, I gotta tell you, he was the coolest character. He was the coolest character. Kane was alright in my opinion. I mean, he did have some cool skills, but I like Raziel. Like, Raziel was like the dopest character of all time. And if you ask me, like, I really wish that, you know, they would, I wish they would somehow maybe not even continue that game, or just maybe reboot it. Like, maybe totally reboot the first game. Reboot Soul Reaver. Just give it a whole new look. Matter of fact, give them all a new look. Like, HD them. Treat them like how you treated Final Fantasy X. Just HD every last one of them, because anyone that has not played that game needs to experience that game. It was a very great game. Very great. Next. Coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 3, I would have to say Crash Bandicoot 3. Yep. Crash Bandicoot 3 is coming in at number 3. So, yeah. Crash Bandicoot, you know, he's my guy, man. Like, come on, man. Like, he was PlayStation's mascot. And I gotta say, all 3, not even all 3, like, all of his games that was on the PlayStation 1 was awesome. It was awesome. It was hilarious. You know, like the guy was just cool. You know, Crash was so cool. So I like the levels. The levels was fun. The characters was fun. The villains was fun. Everything about this game and about this character was awesome. I would have to say PlayStation nailed it on the head with this one because they chose a really awesome mascot. A very, very awesome mascot. You know what I'm saying? So, what can I say? Next. Okay, so this one was very tough. You know, actually in my mind right now is I'm tying these games up. You know, it's just like one of these titles really means a lot to me because it was really my my beginnings at the RPG genre, like very beginnings. Along with this other game I have in mind that was also it was truly my eye opener to RPGs. This other title I have in mind, so I'm gonna have to put it in honorable mentions. But so yeah, I think I made my decision here. So coming in at number 2. Yeah, coming in at number 2, I would have to say Resident Evil 2. I would have to say Resident Evil 2. Talk about scary. Like, I mean, come on, man. I was little when this thing came out, and it was terrifying. I'm talking about play that game when it's dark, turn your lights off, and just have the music up. Like, turn that joint up to the point where anything, any jump, anything that will come at you would like have you jump. Because that game was incredibly scary. I mean, come on. The Mayhem made it to the city. Okay, the Mayhem made it to the city. I mean, as soon as you start, you got zombies surrounding you. Like, you gotta get out of there. You know what I'm saying? And that was the debut of Leon. Leon, I think, was one of the coolest Resident Evil characters that ever released. I mean, Chris Redfield's sister Claire she was okay. She was kind of cool too, but whatever. But Leon was where it was at. Leon was the coolest, and of course his little Asian crush, Ada Wong. Yo, for real, Ada Wong was a baddie. Like, no, not even was. I can't even say that. She is a baddie. Ada Wong is fine as hell. Oh. So yeah, Resident Evil 2 had all the elements to a horror survival game that is missing in today's games right now. As it sits though, like their newest release, Resident Evil 7, oh, they did it. They finally went back to that element of horror and surprise and scare. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm very happy for that. So let's applaud them for that. Let's applaud them for that because that's awesome. Like we needed that. Like we really needed to be scared again. And y'all was really missing the element in 4, 5, and 6. Y'all was really missing the element. Now, not to say that 5 and 6 wasn't fun. It just wasn't scary. You know what I'm saying? So Resident Evil 2 is at number 2. And now here are your honorable mentions. Alright, here it is, guys. Coming in at number 1. Give me that beautiful drum roll. Cue the music. Yes. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. the very first Castlevania game that I could ever bring myself to actually sit down and play, and man, do I feel so good that I did it. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the guy that actually like really piqued my interest to the highest max to actually give this game a second look, because you know what I'm saying, like all the Castlevanias I thought was like, you know, all about the freaking stupid whip, and I hated the whip. I thought the whip was like the stupidest thing. I mean, no disrespect to your creation, igarashi. You made an awesome game. You created an awesome series. Keep doing what you're doing. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to this guy, Alpha Omega Sin. Salute to you, Alpha Omega Sin. I want to thank you for bigging up Symphony of the Night. The game is the best, I mean the very best vampire game for the PlayStation 1. Period. Alucard is freaking awesome. He just oozes awesome. He looks awesome. His style is awesome. His swag is awesome. He has a freaking sword. He could turn into poisonous mist and ease his way through freaking cracks. He could turn into a bat. He could turn into a wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like this, what can this man not do? You know what I'm saying? He's Alucard. He's Dracula's son, and he's out to kill this guy because for the first time ever, he's a good vampire, and he's a cool-looking gangster good vampire. So you know, I mean, you know, for all you fans that have played the game, you know what it is. You got this big maze of a castle to go through. That's of Dracula's castle, and you know it's similar to how Metroid is. And you know I can't even figure out which came first. No. I know who came first because the consoles speak for themselves. Metroid was the first one to well no I can't even say that either because Castlevania did come out on the Super Nintendo, so I can't really say the consoles speak for themselves. But I would have to say that, you know, both these games respectively had the crazy maze thing going on where it took side-scrolling to a whole new level. It took side-scrolling and made you feel like you were really going through this long process of really searching through a place, searching through a place or a planet, you know. So it was, oh man, the game was freaking awesome. Not to mention you had to do the whole thing over again with the castle upside down. Crazy, just crazy. So, you know, like, once again, I shout out to Alpha Omega Sin, who highly recommended that everyone give that game a shot. I'm very happy that I actually played it, beat it, and enjoyed it. And I gotta tell you, the game definitely has replay value. It has so much replay value. Like, I can finish this video right now and just turn that joint on and start playing it. Like, that's how much replay value it has. So, you know, there it is. That is my top 10 PS1 games of all time right now. So, you know, like I said, I put my honorable mentions in there. It was tough. You know, I was really tough and stuck between, you know, Saga Frontier 2. That was another one of my favorites. One of my favorite games of all time. That was the game that brought me into the world of RPGs. Then Final Fantasy VIII was my very first entry into the Final Fantasy series. Period. That was my very first Final Fantasy game I ever played. So those two games, as far as the RPG world goes, mean a lot to me, and that's why it was so hard to put them on this list. I could have easily put them on the list, but then at the same time, I enjoyed the crap out of Resident Evil. Like, I knew a lot more about Resident Evil than I did these games. So therefore, that's why Resident Evil made it to the number 2 spot. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. You know, give me your comments. Please like, dislike. Tell me why you disliking, because you know it's kind of mean to dislike. You gotta dislike me, man. Like, what I do to you? Come on, bro. Be a sport. Give me that thumbs up. So, comments, likes, please subscribe. It would mean a lot to me if you subscribe. I'll show you same love back and subscribe to yours. Just let me know if you got something going on. I'm not a hater. I like to spread the love. So, you know how we do this. We out this piece. Salute.